So Zelda, we got what they did with Zelda was interesting. I thought, again another 2015 title. It's sort of almost a common theme going on here. They sort of showed a tease of what this is what we can do with Zelda. Now that we've got more, high-powered hardware, we just want to whet your appetite a little bit. But they didn't really show us too much other than that. But it seemed that was enough to get sort of the Zelda fans going pretty well.
Yeah, I don't know. Zelda's another one of those ones. Like, we talk about Nintendo just iterating year after year, and I just feel at its core, like every Zelda game can basically be described the same way.
Mm-hmm. They just look different.
Yeah, and I didn't see even the gameplay progression is basically the same. So I have a hard time getting too invested in a Zelda title until I see something, something like really different. So, for example, Hyrule Warriors. I've never played a Dynasty Warriors game, and I probably would never play a Dynasty Warriors game, but make it a Zelda game, and, I'm intrigued. I kind of want to give that a try, if only to kind of check off, yes, I played a different Zelda game, and yes, I played a Dynasty Warriors game.
Right. Speaking of, it's certainly an interesting-looking game, and it's got a very Eastern feel to it. Not unlike another game that they're really banking a lot on in terms of being exclusive, in the form of Bayonetta 2. We won't talk about it for too long, but that's October 2014. I played the original Bayonetta, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, but I still kind of enjoyed it while I was sort of dumbfounded as to what exactly was transpiring in front of my eyes. It's that kind of game, and I mean, Platinum is so far out there with the games they make, but yet they're still kind of fun. They're still fun to play, even if I don't quite understand the battle mechanics. I don't really understand the story and whatnot. But Bayonetta 2 will probably be a lot more of the same. But the weird part is, of course, is that's going to be Wii U exclusive.
Yeah, and I would imagine, that'll do really, really well in Japan, and in North America it'll be like, oh, that was interesting.
Did you play Bayonetta, the original?
No, I never got around to it, but it looks like a weird, interesting game, and I mean, certainly, unlike most other games we've seen, but one thing, there aren't a whole lot of games with female main characters, so that's kind of nice to see.
Yeah, but it's still it's a little exploitative though, because her outfit's made of hair, and then she gets kind of all naked when she does her big super attacks and whatnot. At least in the original Bayonetta, I don't know what they plan for Bayonetta 2, but she quad wields. She's got those impossible proportions. I'm sure there's going to be some pandering going on with Bayonetta 2 as well.
Well, I was just trying to find something nice to say about a game that I really know nothing about.
One game that is definitely going to sell really well is Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, coming out this November 21st. My kids already know about this one, and they're already licking their chops, just waiting. And this is a remake, too, so it's not even like an original adventure, but they're like... Owen's like, I can't wait to get my hands on one of these games, and Malcolm's all into it. All three of my kids are huge Pokemon fans, so they've all been playing X and or Y quite a bit. And Owen's been digging into the back catalog of Pokemon games now, trying to find old ones for the DS at what in US it's called GameStop. Up here it's EB Games, that kind of stuff. I can't find any reason to think that these won't sell 1 million copies or whatever Pokemon games typically sell.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of games that are pretty much the same version after version, there's something just undeniably addictive and compelling about the Pokemon games, and the fact that they can remake a game that people have already played and people will want to play it, what can you say? Kudos to them, and we'll look forward to the next Pokemon games, which will undoubtedly be pretty much the exact same.
Gotta catch them all.
You know what? I want to just say on the topic of Pokemon, though, the one thing they need to make is Pokemon Snap 2. Pokemon Snap is still like it's one of my wife's favorite games, and that's dating back to the GameCube. And think of how absolutely perfect the gamepad is for that. So why can't we have Pokemon Snap 2?
Because we can't have nice things?
I want nice things, Jeff.
Did Pokemon Snap actually sell well?
I think so. Like, if you remember, like, they even put it was even at the level where you could take your pictures on like whatever the memory cartridge was and take it to Blockbuster, and they had sticker kiosks where you could print out your pictures. So, and that was back when Nintendo was on top. That was N64. That wasn't even GameCube. I'm thinking like even later on. So that was back when Nintendo really was still at the top of the heap. And yeah, like there were machines where you could print out stickers from your game. Nowadays, that seems kind of quaint.
Yeah.
But that's how we rolled back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I absolutely believe that Pokemon Snap would be hugely popular.
A game that we sort of skipped over, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. I'm trying to figure this one out. It looks like it sounds like it's going to be mostly stylus controlled. Like, that's the indication I get. You're going to use the gamepad to sort of create little rainbow bridges for Kirby to roll along on. Then, other than that, it's going to be kind of like a typical Kirby game. Which, by the way, my kids have discovered the joys of Kirby games, and they just love them to pieces too. But this one looks like it's going to be a little bit different. It's almost one like it's a Wii U game, right? Like it seems like it should be on the 3DS, but it looks like it's a Wii U game.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. Like I still love the gamepad, and I think the more experiences we have that really, get into the heart of what makes the gamepad interesting and unique, I'm all in favor of. As much as we'd like a platforming Kirby game, let's have something different because the gamepad, that's Nintendo's big differentiator this time out, and they really haven't managed to do that much with it. Mm-hmm. Relatively speaking, it still, feels in a lot of cases like it's a second screen sometimes. Not all games still let you play just on the gamepad easily. But I mean, the gamepad in our house, the battery's going to run out on it very soon because it's just, whether it's for gaming, whether it's for, Netflix, it's just always on in our house, it seems.
Yeah, I love the off-screen play too. That's one of I think that's my favorite gamepad feature because of the kids are downstairs and my wife's downstairs and they want to watch something on TV or whatever, or I'm playing. Even so, like if I want to play or if they want to play Super Mario while I'm playing something on the PS4 or PS3 or Xbox One or whatever, we can do that. We can have the multiple systems going at a time, and they can play whatever game they want. I can play whatever game I want. I really love that aspect of it, and so many games support that off-screen play now.
Yeah, and it looks good. Like
yep.
That's the part you can't overstate enough is like it looks good on that. It's not like it's a second or third rate experience. And yeah, it would be nice. Like I want to see more stuff that takes advantage of that because that's what sets the Wii U apart.
Yeah. The one game that caught a lot of our attention and a lot of people's attention came out of left field, and that was Splatoon. I guess I'm still trying to figure out what genre fits in. I guess it's a third-person shooter technically, but it's also got like some MOBA elements, multiplayer online battle arena elements to it, but there's also a shooting aspect as well. It just all above all looks like really fun, and it's like almost like a shooter, a family-friendly shooter that everyone could get in on.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like what would happen if Nintendo made a shooter. Mm-hmm. You're not shooting people, and again, in a show that was filled with a lot of humans and aliens and zombies and Nazis being shot. This was something completely different, and I think that's why people gravitated towards it. Is we know what the next Call of Duty is going to be. We know what the next Halo is going to be. We know what all of these games are and what they aren't. But here comes Splatoon that's just like, hey, you're Squid, and you shoot ink, and you're trying to cover the level. Like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's play. You don't get that kind of experience or that kind of like sense of surprise too often.
It's at the same time a game that you wouldn't think Nintendo would make, but at the same time it's also a game that you would totally expect Nintendo to make, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and the only thing for me that I just want to see and learn more about is like the multiplayer specifically, because so much of it seemed built around the gamepad.
Yeah.
How is it going to work to play with the kids? We still won't be able to play with two gamepads anytime in the near future.
No.
So, is it split screen multiplayer? How much multiplayer is it? Is it, and if we're playing teams, how does that all work? There's a lot of questions still to be answered, but just on basic gameplay alone, it's freaking adorable.
Yeah. And it's another 2015 title, of course.
Of course.
And I think that's the biggest question for me is how are you going to be able to do this multiplayer? I have a hunch that there's not going to be any, it's going to be hard to do local multiplayer. Depending on how integral that gamepad is to the gameplay control. In which case you've got to do everything online, and then it becomes another online shooter. But again, with that classic Nintendo twist, and then it comes down to how well Nintendo servers are going to be able to support that. But
yeah, the classic twist of we don't know if Nintendo can really do like online games, even to this day.
Right.
I don't have a ton of faith in Nintendo's ability to do, real intensive online play. What we've seen has been, fairly basic to a large degree. I don't know whether they have what it takes to go where that game needs to go. But I don't know. That's kind of what it comes down to with Nintendo is we don't really know until we see it. If it was Nintendo or if it was Sony or Microsoft, we'd have a good idea of what it's going to be like. But Nintendo, because they've just, they're still finding their feet with online gaming, which is weird to think about in this day and age.
Right.
There isn't the level of comfort and trust at this point that you can say, oh yeah, they know what they're doing.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and Nintendo had a lot more at E3 as well, but they try to keep their presentation tight to about 45 minutes or whatever. There's some other stuff they sort of announced, throughout the course of the rest of the week and on their website almost stealthily. There's that weird codename Steam game. See a Fossil Fighters Frontier, Mario Party 10 with a very low key announcement. Really, you would have thought that they would have pimped that a little bit more, but it didn't even make the cut. I know Miyamoto's working on some gamepad specific experiences, which they sort of teased a little bit at the end and then let it be from there.
Yes, there's nothing better than he's making poorly defined things. Get excited.
The Professional Layton versus Phoenix Wright crossover. And then, it's starting to get some of that third-party support that they've been lacking for a little while. So, it's encouraging for sure. I know Xbox and PlayStation, Sony and Microsoft were all, everyone was sort of looking at them to see what they were doing, in the second year of the life of their platforms, because they need titles, obviously. And there's some interesting stuff there for sure, but Nintendo quietly, if you can call it that, had a very interesting show when we really didn't know going into it what we were going to see besides Smash.
That's exactly right, and that's sort of my summation of the whole thing is Sony and Nintendo ultimately delivered pretty much what we were expecting. Maybe we thought we would have got one extra announcement or something else here or there, but for the most part, what we thought Sony was going to talk about, Sony talked about.
Yeah.
Nintendo, on the other hand, a lot of, just the very presentation of it was different. The content was different. It's still a lot of 2015 promises, so, if if you're like me and you own a Wii U right now and you're not entirely sure what you're going to be doing besides binge watching Sons of Anarchy on Netflix, I'm not sure the answers were there. But if the Wii U can survive a couple more years, there is a future. We'll just have to kind of wait and see what that future ends up looking like. But safe to say, it will be adorable. It may not be successful, but it will be adorable.
Yeah. Later on in July, Nintendo's going to be having a preview event that I'm going to be checking out. I'm going to see which of these some of these games are going to be there. We'll have more for you guys. After that event happens, and I'll share some of my thoughts when we have that.